Welcome to A Word After School, the interview podcast giving people the chance to say what they wish they could have to one of their old high school teachers, me. I'm Matthew. I'm a writer who spent the past few years working in TV development and podcast production. However, before that, I had a 15-year career as a high school English teacher. And in each episode of this podcast, I'm going to be interviewing one of the thousands of pupils I taught across my career, asking them what they loved, what they hated, what they wished they could have changed, and whether knowing how to write a critical essay has helped them in life in any way at all. As an introduction to the podcast season, I wanted to tell you a bit more about me, my background, and why I wanted to start this pod in the first place. Like I said, I taught English in high schools for 15 years, from 2008 to 2023. I taught English as a foreign language before that in summer schools too, and I taught creative writing to adults in classes beyond the school classroom as well. And over the years, I developed really positive relationships with most of the pupils that I taught. It was the best thing about teaching. It was working with young people every day, and those are the fondest memories that I still have. They made me laugh all the time, and they were great to be around for most of the day, most of the year. However, what I've realized is that those connections were really based on the classroom and the content of the subject and assessments and examinations. And after having these really concentrated, intense connections with young people, they would sit their exams and move on and leave school. And usually we never see them again. We don't find out what they go on to do. And actually, the end of the summer term was always a little bit sad for me, watching all these young people go off into their lives and never really knowing where they were going or how they got on or how they felt about school as they grew older. And so I wanted to do this podcast personally to reconnect with some of these young people and find out about what they're doing. But this isn't just about my individual story or even their individual story. It was a chance to reflect on school and education and what it's really like and how useful it is and what we really feel when we look back and whether or not we would change things, small things or big things. So I'm asking all of my guests about those positive memories, but also the things that they regret or they wish had been different. And now that we've got a bit of distance, I thought we could probably be a lot more honest with one another than we could have been when we actually were teacher and pupil at school. If you're one of the people who I taught, get in touch. I'd love to have you on the podcast. You can do that in a few ways. You could email me at awordafterschool@gmail.com. You can follow on Instagram at a word after school podcast or on YouTube at a word after school. DM me, send me a comment, send me a voice note on Instagram if you like, and I'll tell you more about what we're doing and how you could be in the pod. I'd love to talk to everybody. The first interview of the podcast is on its way, and my first guest is someone who is very funny, a great storyteller, and helped bring up some lovely memories that I had forgotten about and some things that I didn't even know about. Looking forward to it. Let me know what you think.